Okay, Rachel, are you ready to go?
Yes.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I thought you knew.
Phil, aren't you supposed to be running the show? Which guest have we got?
Don't make me the boss of stuff.
You're the boss of stuff.
Let's wing it.
And go.
Hi, welcome to the This Is My Voice podcast.
The podcast where we discuss all things voice performance and talk to some of the industry's best and brightest talent.
We're your hosts, Rachel Salas.
And Eddie Bai.
Eddie, do you know some cartoons are dubbed for Western markets?
Oh, yeah, I know, because their lips don't move properly.
Okay, thanks, mate. But some of the most successful cartoons are created in foreign languages and they're redubbed for English-speaking audiences.
Wow, I had no idea. Like what?
Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sailor Moon, and a little show called Pokémon.
Ah, Pokémon. Good show.
So our next guest is right in the heart of this, presenting anime icon Veronica Taylor. Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Hello, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. So you're perhaps best known for voicing Ash from Pokémon, who's one of the most recognisable animation characters of all time. How did you wind up getting the role, and how did you pitch yourself for the role?
Gosh, I think, I think it's a case of being in the right place at the right time. So I studied acting since I was little. I have a bachelor's of arts in acting and a master of fine arts in acting. So I kind of have all my tools in my bag at all times. But I was working on an anime called Slayers, and the people who cast me in that were holding the auditions for Pokémon. So in that sense, I was in the right place at the right time. I don't think I really pitched myself. We had to watch a tiny clip of the show, and because it originates in Japan, we had to get our character choice voice to be as close to the original in Japanese as possible. So I think we listened to it for maybe 2 minutes and then had our audition. So I guess I happened to be the closest. And luckily I was cast as Ash, and off I went for 8 wonderful years, playing Ash and his mom and May and a bunch of other characters. I think as an actor, you just kind of dive in and do your best and try to fill the role in that short amount of time. So in that sense, you pitch yourself for everything, but you're not really thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the character.
Did you have any idea how big it was going to be? Because it was so huge in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't think anyone had any idea at all. And don't you think part of how big it is because of how everyone has taken it and kind of made it their own? I mean, the way it hit kids in 1998 is similar and yet so different from how it hits people now. So many of the people that I get to meet at SUPANOVA, at conventions around the world, are kids who watched the show when they were 10 and then now are coming with their kids to see me. So I think that Pokemon speaks to something so deeply inside all of us that allows us to create and imagine. So I don't think anyone ever thought it could be this big, because people have made it this big.
That's really beautiful. It's a lovely little community of fandom, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and so many characters are sparked, friendships have been sparked from it. All of these things kind of grew from, or we could say evolved from Pokemon.
Oh, that's so great. Did you get recognised a lot in the 90s, or do you feel relatively anonymous in spite of its popularity?
I would say I'm pretty anonymous. When I'm at a convention and people know I'm going to be in town, sometimes people recognize me walking down the street or something. But for the most part, I'm invisible in this great big world.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I just do all the normal things that everybody does, go grocery shopping and, when my daughter was little, go on field trips and, I have an incredibly normal life. But then I get to go into the studio, or now, as is the case more often, into my closet at home from my home studio, and then just kind of jump into all of these imaginative worlds and live a bigger life than anyone gets a chance to do, which I am lucky enough to have that opportunity.
You get to be a big kid, though, and just get to play all the time, which is super awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you are playing because you're acting and you're involved in creating something, but it has very strict parameters and I don't know that the specificity in the structure. So you're playing, but in a very small playground.
So, all right, you revoice the Japanese characters,
right? Yes.
So, can you run me through the structure of how that works? So, obviously, the animation is completely finished by the time you're doing your voices. Is that right?
Right. For anything that's dubbed into another language, you receive the project with the original language voices already in and all the animation is completed. So someone who works for the company takes the show and they translate it and then they adapt the script and then it comes to the director and the actors. So most of the time, it's quite strict in terms of what is in the script is what you stick with. There's not a lot of time for improv or anything like that. Whereas when you have something that's prelay, where the show might be sketched out for you, you create it and then it's drawn. So you have more room to play around. When you're dubbing, you have to fit the lip flap.
That's what I was thinking, because usually, if I'm not wrong, animation, it starts with the voice, doesn't it? And then they animate to the voice, or is that the normal way it's done?
It all depends. Actually, I don't know exactly how they work Pokemon, since we're talking about that in Japan. I haven't asked anyone that. I had always assumed that because all the actors are together in Japan when they record, but I think they too are recording to picture. So I think it is drawn first there. But when I worked on Ninja Turtles, for example, we were all in the room together, voicing it like a radio play, and then it is drawn later.
Animated afterwards.
So you have a freedom when it's prelay to kind of find out what it's going to be and be as big or as small. But when you're dubbing something, you may have a preconception of how the line might be done. But when you see the face, you have to fit it and all those odd mouth flaps because it's in another language. So like we worked on Cubics. Cubics is from South Korea. And so many of their sentences end with an open sound. So the lines have to be restructured so that it ends open.
Okay. Yeah,
There you
right.
go.
It's all technical, weird stuff like that.
Because when you talk about a small playground, I mean, that is the tightness around that. So, I mean, I can only imagine, the Japanese language surely has more syllables than the English language. Or what if a sentence goes, like a Japanese sentence goes 30% longer than the English version? What do you do?
That's right.
How do you do that?
That's why you have to have good writers, for one thing. And then also the way that as an actor, your tempo has to change depending on what's allotted with the lip flap. So you can sometimes fit in a lot in a small space, and other times you have to draw it out and maybe put a breath in, or you kind of rejigger things. So you're acting, but you're also puzzle making. I don't know. It's really interesting, and it's a great challenge. In that sense, it's super fun and it's super hard work, but you have to be so focused because you're kind of being paid by the hour. So it's not like you can go like, oh, let's just work on this. Oh, I think I could do this better. You've got to really zero in and get it in the first couple of tries, because if it takes you a long time, they're not really going to ask you back.
Okay.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you said you're now voicing it at home.
Yeah. A lot of studios didn't reopen after kind of lockdown ended. And so things shifted a lot to working from home studios, which is quite convenient and also quite lonely. But it does afford some opportunity to work. Like right now, I'm not at home, but I can still talk to you, or I can record a small job. I tend not to do audiobooks on the road. I wait till I'm home for that. But other smaller jobs I can do from wherever I am. So it's pretty great.
So how do you find that, sitting in your studio or your closet or wherever you do it? Like, how do you find that, like that creative process of working with others?
Well, that's the difficult part because you're not really ever working with other cast members. You're lucky if you get a director, and then and you're lucky if you have an engineer for that. So you have to really involve your imagination a lot more than when you're in the studio with people. You also don't really get to hear what other people have done. So you're responding to what you're reading in the script rather than what someone has said.
But that would be so hard because when I direct talent, if I have like something that I'm doing where I need two people communicating or talking together, right? I'll move heaven and earth to get my two actors in the same place at the same time, even if they're down the line, right? Because I've got a theory that when we talk, like we're talking right now, our energies combine and we create something that would never have happened. And whenever I've done jobs, when you've got two different actors recorded at different times and they're just blocked together like they're being built, the magic isn't there. That's a real struggle.
It's a real struggle for all of that. Even for anime, often you are recording your lines, but you don't hear the other people's, whether you're doing that from home or in the studio. People's, I don't think is a real word, but you know what I mean? But it is really hard, and you have to involve your imagination in a different way. And that's where I think being able to analyze a script quickly comes into play, because you have to kind of skim through whatever lines they give you. Sometimes you just see your lines. Sometimes you only see the lines around yours. And sometimes you can see the whole script. And so as you skim through to find out what's being said before or after you can get a better idea of how to play the scene. But you don't have much time to prepare, and you really are working on your own.
Wow. So you really just sitting by yourself, they go, here's the script, can we have it back by tomorrow?
Some things, yeah. I mean, more so for an audiobook, because that you do read the book and prep it and then record. I just am sitting reading to myself all day long. But for, let's say, if I were doing an anime at home, they provide the picture and the script right then. And then we just get started. So you don't really know if, let's say my character hasn't been in an episode for, I don't know, a couple episodes have passed. You have to be filled in quickly on what's gone on. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. They just kind of tell you what's happening in the scene, and then you play it. So it's, it's not glamorous, and it's not, it's like renegade acting, because you're just like pouring all your energy and focus into it in the moment, and then it's over.
It's funny because that sort of brings me back to kind of that first take vibes where, the first take, you're just kind of going with it and you're kind of getting bounced from line to line and you don't really know what's going on. You're trying to work it out as you happen. And then you go back and you go, let's do that again. Let's do that scene again. But now you've overthought it. And it becomes a bit too flattened out and everything's a bit too neat and tidy. But whereas sometimes that first take where you're like, I had no idea what I was saying for the first half of that scene, but gee whiz, it worked, right? That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and in, I would say in the old days, when a lot of the anime was in New York, we'd have the script in front of us on paper so you could kind of see what was happening. And then you'd hear the beeps in your headphone, the 3 beeps, and where the 4th would be is when you start talking. And we would just be watching the monitor and then reading the lines and just seeing how far we could go. And so it was, that's really fun because you're really acting it and you're reacting to what you're seeing in the picture. It was so fun, but also you're getting some good performances out of people because they're so focused. And in those days, nobody had a phone. Nobody was getting emails in the middle of a session, and you could really focus. And so you have to really try to do that nowadays too, because there's so much interrupting you all the time. And when you're at home, it's worse.
Yeah. I'll sit in sessions and I don't normally turn my phone off. It's always in silent and, but it buzzes and so does my watch. It buzzes, and you just go, oh, cripes, my phone's going off.
I know.
But I mean, I'm not as experienced as you, but I've been doing it for such a long time that I can kind of live through it. And I can even do a take. I'll be just look at my watch and go, oh, no, that's it's just my daughter. No worries. And keep going.
Right.
You know?
I know.
Oh, dear. Oh, that's brilliant.
It must be one of the hardest gigs that we've heard of on this channel, though, is to do English dubbing for anime, because the precision just has to be there and there's no room for error, though, because like you said, it's very back-to-back, though. So it's really a testament to your talent as a voice artist that you're able to have that performance at that quality of that level, because you'd probably be thinking afterwards, I hope that's what they wanted, though, because you're so boxed in with your structure, though, like you have to get it right for them.
And also because you don't really know what's going on. Like sometimes the scene can be a heightened scene. And I've had times where a lot of times now with anime, they want you to match the original Japanese actors. So if the actor is screaming in this point, they want you to be screaming too. But in a scene, if you're starting screaming at this point, but the scene builds, you have to know where it's going. And you don't really preview that often. So you have to kind of read through the script quickly to say, oh, wait a minute, I think we need to take this line down so we have somewhere to go. And all of that is just like that. You're saying you're boxed in. You're trying to get it done in the shortest amount of time, but you want it to be right and believable. So I do think training helps because you understand the structure of a scene. And even though the director may or may not know that structure, you have to work together somehow to make it the best. So, it's challenging for sure.
When you talk about a director, it's not the original director. It'll be overdubbing director.
American.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. Some directors have watched the whole show, whatever it is, and some have not. So sometimes they're seeing it for the first time when I'm seeing it. So, it's all, I don't know, it's all the work. And so you just all have to try to get the best you can.
Yeah, wow. Now, just one more thing, and I'll let Rach. Rach is going to geek out in a minute. But one more thing, screaming, right? So is there a lot of screaming?
I would say it depends on the show. I mean, working on Dragon Ball, there's a lot of screaming in that. Pokemon, there was not so much. I mean, it's stuff that you can control. And I think you have to work on your breath control and how to work things so that you're not ripping your vocal cords because you often have another job to go to after that.
Exactly, yeah, because that's what I was sort of getting at is, when I'm directing talent and if we have a line that is yelled, I'll often go, right, let's do that last. So we'll do the script all the way through, we'll do all the bits, just skip the yelling parts. And then right at the end, I'll go, right, let's keep it to an absolute minimum. Let's get all the gain dialed down and everything so it's all perfect. And I'll tell you exactly what I want. And I don't want to do it any more than like twice because I know that my artist that I'm working with has to move on to another job.
Well, you seem like a very considerate director and you didn't have one for that.
Well, that's right, because they don't understand. Like a lot of people don't understand that, we don't just do things on cue.
It's not dance, monkey dance.
It isn't like dance, monkey dance, like that's the thing. And like we're human beings and I think how best do we deal with this so that we can get the best out of it? And if you work with talent all the time, you're going to work with them again next week, and they don't like you if
that's
you ruin
you hope.
them. Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
But yeah, good.
Exactly.
On top of voicing Ash, have you voiced any other Pokemon?
Yeah, I did Goldeen, Diglett, Sentret. My daughter and I both did Sentret. She was very small at the time.
That's precious.
And,
I love that.
Yeah, it's really great. And probably a bunch of other ones, but they were one-offs. Often we would be in the studio and they would say, oh, can you do this or whatever? And then we just pop in and do that. So Sunkern, I think, was one. I don't know. As I see them, I remember it.
Yeah.
What is it like emoting for these characters when they can only say one word?
There's other projects I've worked on where you've had to do stuff like that. And again, it engages your imagination because you have to figure out what you are saying and then you can, make up how they say it. So I think it's pretty intense and pretty great for that. But it's difficult. It's hard work. It's hard work.
It is one. I reckon it's one of the hardest jobs we've heard on this channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tara Sands, who did Bulbasaur, she's probably the best at, she had to do a lot as Bulbasaur. So with a different emoting and all of that. And she's really great at it. So
what does it take? What makes you good at that? What's your specialness that allowed you to do that? Because I think this is so niche, really, that a lot of voice artists just would not be able to do it, myself included.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you rise to the task. So I don't know that any of us thought we could do any of those things before someone said, "Oh, can you do this?" And you say, "Yeah." And then it also, with some of those Pokemon, they had more lines than others. So you had more space to grow into it.
Yeah, okay. But it's not a personality thing. It's not a personality thing. It's not that just you're a bit left unhinged or a bit crazy or a bit of a geek or whatever. Like,
I think
what does
we're
it
all
take?
crazy if we want to be voice artists.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's true. That's true. No, I think it's just that you just focus in a different way. So I don't think it's a personality, but it's allowing yourself to just let go of language and play intention.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That should be, we should make a T-shirt of that phrase, I think. Let go of language and go with intention. That's brilliant. That's great, because that's what it is, yeah.
That's our sting for our show.
Yeah, well, because we're not great at language. Oh, dear.
It's all just gibberish, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
How do you nurture your voice? We spoke a little bit about it before with Ed and you. So just taking care of it after a really long demanding day in the studio, how would you make sure your voice is in tip-top shape for the next day?
Usually I just rest afterwards. I try to drink a lot of water, coconut water. Manuka honey is quite good. Avocado. All of that is really moisturizing, I guess. And watermelon also. But I just try to rest. Even doing conventions tends to kind of wear my voice out because I do dumb ash stuff, and then I'm not really focusing on how to best pronounce things or like use my air when I'm speaking. So I tend to ruin my voice more during a convention than I do during a actual session.
Oh, I totally get that. I'm teaching a voiceover workshop this weekend, and it's funny because I do a whole section on looking after your voice, but my voice is more buggered at the end of a workshop session than it would be if I was doing sessions all day. And I think it's because, you're not focusing on the finer craft of what you do and really being, looking after your voice as your voice. You're talking to people, and I can only imagine, you're often having to project quite loud in conventions and things like that, and you get close to yelling anyway.
That's true. And also a lot of stuff you can do on the mic, you don't have to be that loud.
Yeah.
But for Ash, he can be like, "Oh, hey, everybody." But if I'm saying it louder to reach someone, then then I'm ruining my voice.
You're projecting a lot.
Take more care. Yeah.
How did you create the voice of Ash? Though, how much was requested of you, and how much was your own creation?
We were tasked with watching a small, short clip from Pokemon. I don't even know what episode it was. And then we were asked to get the voice as close as possible to that, what we heard in that clip. So it was just, I don't even think it was 2 minutes long. And then the audition happened. So it's based on exactly what Rika Matsumoto did in Japan, and what she did actually for all of the whole time she worked on the show. I guess I was just the closest. And so then we worked it from there, and it was allowed to kind of settle in within that first season. But that was it. And then after that, my little brother was 10 at the time, and also Spritle from Speed Racer. I think of him, and Rudolph from that Christmas special, that stop action. She thinks I'm cute. She thinks I'm cute. Like that kind of. And then Ash was, just kind of in there.
Generally speaking, how do you create new voices? Do you experiment a lot as a drama student? Well, drama graduate, I should say.
No, I just kind of think about, we all work on where to place a voice. You have, through your whole range from the top of your head to the bottom of your stomach, essentially. You can use the placement, and to find a different sound. And then from the description of a character, then I decide kind of where to place it and then what energy to put behind it. Like you could have, I don't know, you can have someone who's here and she's a very kind of small, but then she might be more tough or something. And then it's all still in the same placement, but you have different sound that can come through it. Mm. So those can be like kind of 3 different characters depending on what you're working on. Even though that's, let's say 7-year-old kid. And then you just kind of build out from there. So that's how I think of it. I get a picture of the character in my mind and then just kind of find something and then work on it. Yeah, right. But I don't really practice a lot at home. I don't think like, oh, I'm going to use this voice somewhere or, I don't really do that. I just kind of take it as it comes. For instance, if you have Ash's voice, let's say it's a 10-year-old boy, he sounds kind of like this, but now it's a 10-year-old boy who is shy. So maybe this is in the same range, but maybe he's here, or maybe he has come kind of like a speech impediment or a cold, or maybe he's like really, really fast and he's got so you can, like you shift. That's all in the same area. Yeah. It's the same quote voice, but they're different people. Yeah. So you can expand that way. But it all depends on what the audition is calling for, what the description is. As you read that and you pick those little bits apart, you can build out. So I don't do a lot that I can think sometimes, oh, this character reminds me of something, but I don't ever try to do sound alike. Although there are the do Sigourney Weaver or something, but she sounds like so many different things. So I don't know what they're asking for. So you pick an energy really. And then you just hope to get cast because you don't know they're also casting based on what someone else they already had. And how do you complement that person? And that will decide if you get cast or not. Yeah. Also, it's not always you. Yeah. It's not always your audition. It's how you fit in with what they have in mind. Yeah,
I know. Because I do a lot of casting as well. And casting is one of those dark arts where that classic adage of don't call us, we'll call you, that sort of stuff. And it's absolutely the truth. So it's funny, as a voiceover artist and a director, I know both sides of the studio,
yeah, exactly.
So I never sort of get upset when I don't get a job. You just go, oh, well, never mind. I'll get one eventually. I know you have
to let it roll.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
As a voice artist, there must be a lot of pressure to get things right. And with such a devoted fan base for Pokemon, how do you handle criticism with your performances? And how do you make sure that you balance yourself for the next job after hearing criticism?
Well, I do think while you're recording, you take direction. So whether it's you're always kind of getting ready to change. You put something out there and then you have to be able to shift. And in a minute way or a large way, you have to do whatever is being called upon you to do. But I think as far as criticism goes from fans or people outside, sometimes I just don't see that criticism. So it's easy to overlook it. And then on the other side of it, I think we all have our personal opinions. So I can't really let that affect me because how I performed at that job was not my own choosing. It's a team effort. So, for instance, I played, Nico Robin in the 4Kids One Piece. And many people didn't like that she had a Southern accent. But there's nothing I could do because that's what they needed me to do. So, I have to let that roll off my back because I performed what I was directed to do. So it's stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really good because there's a lot of vulnerability to performing.
Absolutely. And you have to be able to open yourself up and just let it go. But if you're focused, giving your 100% energy and really, I guess, doing the job at hand, that's all you can do. And so if people don't like it, that is one thing and you can accept that. But I don't think you can let that, you can't let that really depress you because you have to just move forward somehow. But people can be really mean for no reason. And that's something that sometimes you have to address head on and say, sorry you didn't like it, but just don't watch.
Yeah. Or, I mean, and I couldn't agree more with your sentiment there. And I think as a true performer, you learn to, well, when you're engrossed in your work, you're flowing with what you do, and all of that stuff sort of gets pushed aside anyway. And whether you are critical of your work afterwards or whatever is up to you. And if you're hypercritical of it, well, you don't have to watch it, do you? You don't have to actually.
That's right.
You don't have to.
Your own.
Yeah. So you can sort of. I mean, I find that as well. Like you just move forward. Like you just move forward. You just go, all right, what's next?
Right.
Yeah.
And I hope for another job.
Yeah.
Just keep working.
Just keep working. Yeah, I know. That's the way. We've got a few minutes left. So, Rach, did you have some sort of activity you wanted to do?
We
so
do.
Sorry, stand by for an activity.
We do a couple of little games on this show, though, just to have a bit of fun with voice actors and take them out of their element a little bit. So normally we do a voice off, but I'm going to do something a little bit different with you. So this is the first time we've ever done this. So because you studied drama, I've got a challenge for you for improvisation. So if you want to do Ash and say a line, I'll do the Pokemon.
Okay. All right. Okay. Am I guessing what it is?
So your line would be Pikachu Thundershock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see where I am here. Okay, I can come. I'm trying to see where I can be where no one's hearing me. Okay. Ready? I would say Pikachu Thundershock.
Pikachu!
Wow. That's pretty good, buddy. Are you okay?
Oh, good. You can do as Ash. Pikachu, attack that Jigglypuff.
Oh, that's kind of mean. Pikachu, attack that Jigglypuff.
Pikachu!
Okay, this is good.
But Jigglypuff. Oh my god. You're amazing.
This is hilarious.
I was watching that episode last night. I was just like, I've got to prep. This is going to be so much fun.
Wow, you're so good. That's amazing.
Shucks, thank you.
And now it's my turn. Oh, hang on, what have I done here? And now it's my turn, which I don't do. So there you go. Sorry, I'll get you.
I'll go back to something just quickly. I love how diverse the Pokemon fan base is. I want to ask you, what has been an absolute highlight for you?
Oh my gosh. It's just meeting everyone from the moment that they were 10 all the way till now. It's been pretty incredible to see even 10. Like I've met kids when they were 10 and I've met them again now with their children.
Oh,
wow.
So the idea that
beautiful.
Pokemon can kind of unite all of us through time, through family, through friends. So many people have told me about how they met their partner because of their love of Pokemon. It's an incredible thing that we can all form and be a part of this great community. It's incredible.
It's so good. That's one of the best things I love about animation is the intergenerational connection as well. Like I'm enjoying cartoons with my little boy and it's something I want to raise him on. And it doesn't matter how old you are though, or how young you are. It's something that people from all walks of life can unite and enjoy. So that's something that's
Totally
really
agree.
beautiful.
Yeah, I think so too. It's so nice.
It's so good.
And you can lose yourself in the creativity and the imagination of animation. So you can connect from any age, really, and on all different levels. I mean, you can watch Pokemon when you're 10 and you can watch it as a parent and you hear and see different things. You get a different message. And you can still like it and share that. So I think it's very special.
I know I was 7 and I was absolutely obsessed. The first movie was coming out. It was like peak 90s mania. And my inner 7-year-old is going to be like geeking out right now and going, oh my gosh, Ash. Like,
Oh, it's so great.
It's so great. It's definitely it's definitely a dream having you on. It's wonderful. So we're very blessed having you on this podcast. And to wrap up,
Gosh, you guys are amazing, by the way.
shucks.
We muddle our way through.
Thank you.
We literally muddle our way through.
Oh, some days I feel like Porky Pig when I'm asking questions, blah, 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 blah. But yeah.
Of course, we all do.
I think it's just so exciting. We're so lucky that we get to speak with voice artists like yourself, and we are just so passionate about this channel. To wrap things up, our last challenge for you. So we usually get guests to do a trailer, and it can be in any voice you choose, though, like the whole inner world shtick. So inner world. But it needs to be a trailer about our experience in this interview.
Okay. How about in a world where there are no Pokemon roaming around, except in your imagination, you can enter "This is my voice" and be yourself in this world. Good luck out there, and good luck on your Pokemon journey.
Oh, perfect.
Spoken like a true voice actor.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you, guys.
We love having you on the
You're
show.
welcome.
Come back anytime.
Thank you,
It's
Veronica.
been so great. Thank you both. I really can't wait to meet you in person. You're so talented and amazing. So thank
You're
you so
lovely.
much.
You're
Thanks
so
for the time.
talented and amazing, Lo.
Oh,
Plus,
stop going.
Isn't this so cool that we got cut off for a power shortage, and now actually it's storming out here and the wind is blowing and we're still chatting. So nothing can stop us.
Yes.
Brilliant. Love it.
Yeah.
Before you go, are you doing a podcast on your experience with Pokemon? Did I see that on your Instagram?
Yeah, my daughter and I are doing The Trainer's Guide. It's a rewatch of the first season of Pokemon.
Oh, that's so cool.
We talk about the show, and then we have people write in or send in a recording talking about their experience with Pokemon and how it affected their lives. And I feel like that's the main goal of our podcast, is to showcase the community.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're doing that. We're almost finished the first season now.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with all your
right,
hard
you
work
guys.
with it.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Veronica.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to This Is My Voice, the podcast about all things voice performance with the world's best voice artists. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a review and don't forget to subscribe. This episode has been brought to you by the Australian Radio School and delivered to your ears by the Ozcast Network.